Yes, sir.
I started working with Dr. King officially this year, 50 years ago.
So 50 years ago, yes,
since
sir.
my 75 years of living, 50 years of working for Dr. King.
Yes, sir.
And I plan to live out my days fighting for justice and love and mercy.
And Reverend Jackson, how do you stay so focused on the fight? So many people get tired and they have not done a tenth of what you've done relative to fighting for the rights. I mean, for Silicon Valley. People don't even know the fight you're fighting against Silicon Valley to get us to benefit from this tremendous technological boom.
Fighting for justice is my religion.
Yes, sir.
It's my ministry. When I was running for presidency, people asked me, why can you mix politics and religion? I said, my religion makes me political.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My politics don't make me religious.
Yes, yes.
In the sense that my religion obligates me to feed the hungry.
Yes, sir.
To clothe the naked, to fight for those whose backs are against the wall.
Yes, sir.
The mission statement to heal the brokenhearted.
Yes, sir.
And set the captive free. That is, in fact, our religion.
Absolutely.
And Michael was asked, how do you worship? It was not private righteousness, it was social justice.
Yes, sir.
Do justice. It didn't say do righteousness, it said do justice.
Yes.
And love mercy and walk humbly.
Yes,
So
sir.
this is my ministry. And we were told furthermore in Ephesians that we're not wrestling with flesh and blood.
Yes, sir.
It's not handshaking and drive-by visit at the church here on Saturday.
Yes, sir.
But we're powers and principalities. That's a political verse, by the way.
It is.
That's not spiritual.
Yes, sir.
It's powers, principalities, people who determine whether you get Medicaid or not.
Yes, sir.
Whether you get Medicare or not, Social Security or not, livable wages or not.
Yes, sir.
Access to a contract on a fair basis or not. Those are powers and principalities.
Absolutely.
And wickedness in high places undermine your ability
Yes, sir.
to get houses, health care, and jobs.
Yes, sir.
And so, in some sense, my religion obligates me. This is all I know to do.
And Reverend Jackson, to further accentuate that power in that verse is exousia, which is governmental systems and the ability to control the lives of people. So it's definitely a
And
pivotal
no,
verse.
after all, our religion is basically based upon the Jewish tradition.
Yes, sir.
And in the quest of them more about justice and about righteousness.
Yes.
And when God saw the people in Egypt groaning, He didn't save the saved and eliminate the unsaved. All those who had need of help, who had the faith, got across that Red Sea. Those
Yes,
who
sir.
didn't have the faith, stayed back in Egypt and kept on humping.
That's right.
But if you have the faith, God does have the power.
Yes, He does.
To see it. And I'm urging people to, and sometimes people don't vote because they are functionally illiterate.
Yes.
In Philadelphia, there are 500,000 people functionally illiterate.
Yes.
Illiterate. They can't read and write well, and they don't want to admit it publicly.
Right.
And the way it comes home to me is that when I ran for the presidency, my grandmother was not going to vote for me.
Okay.
She was not going to vote, not because she didn't love me, but grandma couldn't read and write.
Yes.
She made an X by her name. By that time, she was Mrs. Burns. She was Jesse Jackson's grandmother.
Right.
And she was one that didn't want to go downtown, say she couldn't read and write, and make an X. My mother and I almost had to take her downtown bodily
Yes.
to vote for our grandson.
Yes,
She was
sir.
choosing pride over dignity and fear over hope.
Yes, sir.
So many people, that's why ministers must be so involved in the process, because you know your members who are writing an X.
That's right.
You
That's
know
right.
your deacons who cannot write well. They're good people.
Yes,
They
sir.
do the right thing, but they've been scarred by ghetto deprivation.
Yes, sir.
They've been scarred by racial discrimination. And so we must, in fact, be patient with those. Sometimes people don't vote because they're afraid.
They're
Look
afraid.
at a voter deal with 5 or 10 pages.
Yes.
President, vice president,
Right. Judges. Yes, sir.
and state legislators. And they can't read all that, so they
Yes.
just stay away from the process.
Yes, sir.
So it's called voter assistance. We must help them
Yes, sir.
through the process. That means having voter education classes at your church, because if God gives you the rod to vote with,
Yes, sir.
you get the Red Sea and
Yeah.
have a faint faith. You drop your rod to turn the snake
Yes, sir.
and bite you.
And bite you, yes.
It's going to lance it and eat you up.
And Reverend Jackson, you're so, so profound what you're saying. Because when we didn't vote in Detroit, we got a Governor Rick Snyder. We have a state legislature that both houses are Republican-led. And this is not about Republican or Democrat, but what it is.
Because of Detroit not voting, its power,
Yes.
its numbers. In Flint, that crisis has not at all been solved yet. Flint needs 34,000 water pipes.
Yes, sir.
They got 34.
Yes.
They don't just need water bottles, they need water pipes.
Yes, sir.
But that would mean jobs for steel workers,
Yes,
and
sir.
jobs for pipe fitters, jobs for construction.
Yes, sir.
You be put folks back to work at the same time. So they're still taking baths in bottled water.
Yes, sir.
You still cook with bottled
Bottled
water
water,
in Flint.
yes.
And Michigan has a $600 million rainy day fund,
Mhm.
but another dime is going to get pipes in Flint.
Yes, sir.
So it ain't raining enough yet in Flint. And
Yes,
there's a
sir.
flood there of poisoned water. And the impact of children and not so children
Yes, sir.
drinking lead paint in the water
Absolutely.
has a devastating impact upon their brains
Yes.
Right.
forever. And it may come out 20 years later, but it has a devastating impact upon their brains.
Which contributes to the school to prison pipeline
And
as
so
well, Reverend Jackson.
when you don't vote, you make your snake.
Yes, sir.
When you do vote, you can break your snake.
Yes, sir.
It's a snake breaking time.
Absolutely. Reverend Jackson, we're going to take a break and pay a few bills. And if you can hold on, we're going to come right back after these messages. We're talking to Reverend Jesse Lewis.
9:10 a.m.
9:10 a.m.
What
the
I'm talking
Superstation.
about.
Yes, sir. All right, we'll be right back after these messages.
Nation to communicate with the people
Yes, sir.
about that which is so important to our existence.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
For a key to citizenship is the right to express yourself, the right to fight for the right of the government of, for, and by the people. If you
Yes,
can't
sir.
vote, government's not of you, not by you, not for you.
Yes, sir.
And for 246 years, African Americans were not considered citizens. We were considered 3/5 of human beings
Yes, sir.
by that stacked law. In 100 years of Jim Crow,
Mhm.
1880 to 1965, 5,000 blacks were lynched
Yes, sir.
without one indictment.
Yes, sir.
One reason Dr. King argued for the right to vote was when Emmett Till was killed August 28, 1955, and when Medgar was killed June 7, 1964, the all-white juries,
Yes,
and
sir.
all-white hostile juries said that. There were no blacks on the jury to hang the jury, that we were hung by the jury.
Yes, sir.
And those who were the jurors, they knew who the killers were. And one juror said to the New York Times when it was over that we cannot imagine a white man going to jail for killing one of them.
Yes, sir.
And so we fought for the right to serve on juries. And that reminded me, I was in Ferguson, Missouri, a couple years ago after Michael Brown had been killed.
Yes, sir.
And his blood was still in the streets. And I said to a group of young people, let's register and vote and fight back. And most of them cheered once. I'm not in the vote. I'm not into the system.
Yes,
I said,
sir.
if you were in the jury box,
Mhm.
when the killer came to court, would you vote against him? He said, sure, I wouldn't park it. I'd vote against him. So not if you're not registered.
Yes, sir.
Only registered voters can serve
Can
on
vote.
juries.
Yes, sir.
He said, oh.
That's right.
And so Ferguson went from 6% voting to a much higher number. Now they have more officials.
Yes, sir.
I said, voters can elect mayors who appoint police and fire chiefs.
Yes.
Voters can elect legislators and school board members,
Yes, sir.
and they can elect district attorneys and the like.
That's right.
So they begin to use the power of that vote. And I'm urging citizens, we were yesterday in Detroit at Cass Tech High School.
I'm an alum of Cass Tech, Reverend
We were at
Jackson.
Cass Tech, and
Yes,
we were
sir.
at Mumford High yesterday.
Yes, sir.
All those youth who are 17 years of age now,
Mhm.
will be 18 by November the 8th, can register and vote now
Yes,
in this
sir.
election.
Yes, sir.
Those who are 18 or older can vote, obviously can vote now. So we're challenging all of Detroit and all of Michigan, all
Yes,
of
sir.
Grand Rapids, and all of South Bend. The principal should convene your high school seniors,
Yes, sir.
convene your 18-year-olds, and now you can have deputy registrars.
Yes.
There's no George Wallace to stop
Mhm.
you. There's no bull calling, there are no horses
No
kicking,
poll
no
tax.
dogs biting, no
Yes,
poll
sir.
tax.
Yes, sir.
Just flat out register and vote. But a combination of not voting plus temporary employment
Yes.
plus low wages is a formula for disaster.
Yes, sir.
I say that because so many people don't vote for different reasons. The high school youth yesterday had not been challenged to register and vote and taught its power.
Yes, sir.
You want more scholarships? Vote for it.
Vote for it. Yes.
You want student loan debt reduced?
Vote for it.
Vote for it. And it's a long-term fight, but it's the right fight.
Yes, sir.
And the second piece is so many workers, more than 300,000 in Michigan, what they call temporary workers. They work for up to 89 days.
Yes, sir.
The 90th day they would be full employees. They could get benefits.
So they let go
They
before.
lay them off at 89th day.
Yes, sir.
And they come back the next week. Some people have been working for 15 years as temporary workers.
Yes, sir.
Without
Yes, sir.
benefits. That's
Yes,
a
sir.
scheme. So if your vote is undercut with a scheme, and then with the courts ruled last week, 3 weeks ago in Dallas, Texas,
Yes, sir.
that the photo ID was designed to undermine the black and brown vote.
Yes.
And so when they changed the court's rule, 650,000 people got registered, registration restored
Yes, sir.
on that occasion. That applied to Texas and Mississippi. And then the court ruled the same way in North Carolina,
Yes, sir.
which applied to North Carolina and South Carolina and Virginia, West Virginia, and Maryland. And then the court ruled the same way in Wisconsin
Yes, sir.
and North Dakota. So there's a movement now to restore the right to vote and protect the right to vote.
Yes, sir.
But one thing worse than voter suppression is voter surrender.
Yes.
I want all your high school principals who are listening, all high school teachers, convene your seniors now.
Yes.
A number of them are 18.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And by next May, all of them will be 18.
Yes.
Cass Tech has 560 seniors.
Mhm.
When they come across the stage next May, they should have a voter card in one hand and a diploma in the other hand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As being empowered people.
Absolutely, and they come out the door with a sense of what they can contribute to that power base.
Well, to protect your interests, I mean,
Yes.
students will vote for teacher pay.
Yes, yes, they sure will.
They'll vote for scholarships.
Yes, sir.
They'll vote for safety. Don't celebrate Mandela's thing in jail 27 years about the right to vote,
Yes,
and then don't vote.
and then don't vote. Right.
Don't take the King holiday off, and he got killed fighting for the right to vote, and then
They
don't vote.
Yes, sir.
And so don't settle for the holiday and miss the holy day.
Yes, sir. And that is so important, Reverend Jackson. We miss that, and we don't even teach that and talk about that in our communities to the level that we definitely need to. Reverend Jackson, for
When we couldn't register, we filed lawsuits.
we file lawsuits. Yes, sir.
We marched. Now we have the right to vote, and we have a black principal or a female principal. Won't even convene the seniors to register.
To register them, yes.
And you can not have to go downtown. You can have a registrar come to your school.
Come to your school. Yes, sir.
Yesterday at Cass said we put all the 18-year-olds together, register them on the spot.
Yes, sir.
In Mumford, yesterday, put all the 18-year-olds together,
And
register them on the spot. And now they're fully registered. They're ready to go for
and ready to
November
go
8th.
on November 8th. Yes, sir. Reverend Jackson, Rainbow Push has done so many wonderful things for our people. How do they get in touch with you? Go to the website, get involved.
Website, rainbowpush.org,
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
rainbowpush.org. They can call the office in Chicago, 773-FREEDOM, 773-FREEDOM, 773-373-3366.